Hello, Jacob. I'm Robert Stack. Tonight, we're going to solve the closest I've gotten to all day. I've been practicing.
Tell me you freak out the girls.
I've been practicing. Somewhere, someone has a clue. Know what happened. Perhaps they're watching. Perhaps it's you. Something to that effect, he said. I don't remember. He's dead. He's scared himself to death. Jake Bray doesn't even know who I'm talking about, so fine. Robert Stack was the creepiest man alive. Creepiest man alive. Thank you for the likes, boys. You got to hear my Robert Stack impression. I'm sure you're thrilled. Yeah, he was the host. Yes. Oh, Jake knows who he is. Yeah, I used to go to bed every night, and Dad would be watching Unsolved Mysteries, and I'd hear that creepy ass theme song in Robert Stack's voice, and I'd be like, "How am I supposed to sleep with this going on?" And then he was on Rescue 911, but even though that was happy stuff, it was still the Unsolved Mysteries guy, and it fucked with me. Welcome to Rescue 911. Today we're gonna save lives. No, we're not! You're still the guy that did the scary stuff. Still the scary man. Still the scary man. Jake, are you the only one here? This is gonna be real easy for you, buddy. Listen, if they don't show up, I'm never doing this one again. This is by far the most excited I've been to do trivia. If they don't show up, I'm gonna beat them all. I'll get beat. We're just getting beat up. Beat up. What are you laughing at? String time. I know. I know. They're so excited for it that they don't show up. And I've been talking about it all day to everybody. Sending out all the invitations. Where are they? On the ball, man. On the ball. So you win by you win by default. If no one else shows up, you win by default. That's exactly what happens. The problem is you don't win anything. Ah! There's no prizes. There's just the satisfaction that you knew the right answers. There's 4 people watching. Anybody else out there that didn't say hello? Well, Jake and Race are the only ones playing. Oh, Rachel is gonna miss out. She was so excited about this one, our age. Missing out. I know. Help. I guess it's just the boys tonight. All we got is the boys. You ordered a PC? Cool. What kind? What video cards in it? $3070. Nice. Nice. I mean, it's not mine, but it's nice. Not as good as mine, but it's nice. $3080. They're on sale too. I just spent a gajillion dollars on it. It's nice. So, before we start, I want to shout out this YouTube site because this is where I got all my information for tonight's trivia, and these videos are great. There's a billion of them too. I only picked the ones that I knew about, but there's a billion of them. All right, here we go. Unsolved mysteries. We're doing this with the boys. The ladies don't want to show up. Yeah, but I didn't pay $1,000. I didn't pay $1,000 for that. because the whole tower was a little more than two. So, okie dokie. We got Jack the Ripper, we got George Reeves, JFK, DB Cooper, Princess Di, O.J. Simpson, and what Jake is waiting for, John Benet Ramsey. It's all the way at the end, buddy. All the way at the end. Jack the Ripper targeted these types of women. Go. What types of women did Jack the Ripper target? I think Jake fell asleep waiting on everybody. There he is. Yes, professionals. In a letter to the London police, Jack quipped that he saved some blood from one of his murders to write the letter in, but it went bad, so he used red ink. And then he laughed, literally writing "ha ha." He then told them the next body they find will be missing this part of her body and send it to them. He also called himself Jack the Ripper. So what piece of what part of her body did he want to send to the police? He was a real great guy. Send body parts, people. All the questions are this long too tonight. They're all no. He did take out their uterus stuff, but he never sent it to police. He would take their uterus and their kidneys and stuff out. Gut them basically like fish. Nope, not their head. Something on their head, but not their whole head. He had a fetish. Nope, not hair. Ears. Gonna send them in the ears of his victim. Most famous theory about Jack is that they are this kind of person. This is why they evaded police the night of the third and fourth murders, because they were looking for the wrong type of person. Because the third and fourth murders happened in the same night, like right down the street from each other. Most famous theory about Jack is that they are this kind of person. Hey, one of the girls showed up. We got any theories? Any ideas here? Check on the other girls. They're awake yet. Doesn't look like it. Anybody? Anybody at all? There you go. Amy got it. A woman. That's why they couldn't find Jack the Ripper. They were looking for a dude. Another theory is that Jack is this American who later created a hotel of mazes and trapped victims in it outside the Chicago's World's Fair. Talked about him last week. That's what the picture is behind me. I didn't even change it. I'm lazy. That's the Maze Hotel. The Murder Castle. Hmm? H.H. Holmes. Correct, correct. Another suspect is a man named Joseph Barrett who lived with the final victim. Some theorize that Barnett started killing in the name of Jack the Ripper so that his roommate would stop doing this, and it worked for a while. But once she started up again, Barnett lost his temper and killed her, and with no other reason to kill, the killing stopped. She's home 6. Yeah, that's his email, Jake. At at altavista.org .net. Yeah, yeah, she'd stop working. If there was someone killing prostitutes, he thought, well, maybe we should stop prostituting if I start killing prostitutes. And it worked for a while, and then went back to it, and he lost his temper. Again, theory. Pretty good one, too. That's me. The third and fourth murders occurred on the same night, suggesting that Jack the Ripper was on the streets while police were chasing him around. They happened this many minutes apart. How many minutes apart did the third and fourth murders happen? According to eyewitnesses, because this is the only thing they had back then. Eyewitness testimony. They didn't have DNA and shit. I'm close. I'm sure they barely knew about fingerprints at that point. Several. Races an hour. Close. Several. Forty-five minutes. How quick it happened. Just jumping around on that night. All right, George Reeves. George was known for playing this character on television in the 1950s. It was about George Reeves. Anybody know who George Reeves is? Hmm? Played Superman. I think he was the first actor to portray Superman too. Once at a premiere, a small child brought this to test if George was actually Superman. George fibbed to the child to basically save his own life. What did the small child bring to the premiere to test if George was actually Superman? Yeah, loaded gun. George apparently told the kid that it would indeed bounce off of him, but it would also bounce around and hit civilians, and that's how he got the child to not shoot him. On June 16, 1959, George went to bed around midnight, even though this many people were downstairs having an unexpected social party until at least 1 a.m. How many people were in his house while he was trying to sleep in the middle of the fucking night? Um, Following presumably his death later. 4. Two neighbors, his fiance, and his live-in friend and author who was writing a book about George. There's 4 people there. I just think there was a lot of people there at 1 a.m. After coming down in his pajamas to break up the party, George headed back upstairs, opened a bedside drawer, and this many gunshots were heard from the people downstairs. How many times did somebody shoot a gun in the bedroom of George Reeves? If anybody knows. I figured you guys would know a whole lot about this one. As you can see, I put the ones that you know further back. 4. Oh, 4, huh? 1. There's 1 shot. That's it. George was found naked, lying on his bed, shot in the right temple with the gun lying on the ground between his feet. The blood splatter was everywhere, including the ceiling, which is also where the bullet was lodged. Weirdly, however, the casing was found here. So first of all, came down in his pajamas, went back upstairs, got fully naked, and then shot himself. And then when he did, he shot himself in the temple, which means and the bullet went into the ceiling. He fell over with his back on the bed. The gun dropped in between his feet, and the casing was where? It was in a weird place. Nope, not in the chamber. Yep. Yeah. It was underneath his body on the bed. So how does that work? Boom, drop, fall down, and then somehow the casing's like behind me already. Why'd I fall down? Other than suicide, the official theory by LAPD. Other than suicide, the official theory by LAPD. Another theory is that George's fiance killed him accidentally. There are 2 extra ones of these in the bedroom floorboards, and when asked about them by LAPD, the fiance explained she was playing with the gun days earlier. What were there 2 extra of in the floorboards? That wouldn't have been there the night of the murder. But were. But they shouldn't have been. Not bullets. The bullets weren't there. The bullets were not there. What's the bullet leave, though? No, not a casing. The holes. There were 2 bullet holes in the but the gun only went off once. So the theory is that she went upstairs and was playing with it again and shot his ass. Okay, JFK. This one should be a little easier. Everybody knows this fucking thing. Everybody. According to the Warren Commission, this person attacked alone in the assassination of John F. Kennedy. According to the Warren Commission, who was funded by the CIA. Same people that cover things up for a living. And yes, Lee Harvey Oswald. It's funny, we should just ask him when. Oh, wait a minute, he's dead too. That's weird. The second bullet, known as this nickname, hit both JFK and the then governor of Texas, John B. Connally. The bullet. Oh my God, I'm terrible. The bullet is is nicknamed this. God, I suck at this. The bullet is nicknamed this because the path it took was strange. It went through JFK's neck and ended up in Connolly's right thigh and was found intact. Yes, I'm glad you got it out before I did. The magic bullet. So it went through the neck into like JFK's wrist, I think, and then went through Connolly's back that was in the front seat, through his like chest, and then into his thigh, and the bullet was intact through all that. Never hit any bone. Went through a man's wrist. Magneto did it. Got it. Nailed it. There's at least two Marvel references in all these. Just saying. Magneto did it. Governor Connolly told in a 1966 Time magazine article that he believed the magic bullet theory is false and that he was hit by a completely different bullet than JFK, since the two bullets would have been fired at the same time over each other since only 3 shots were heard. This can only mean this conclusion. There are 2 shots at the same time. Then that 3 shooters. Shit, race. Yes, there was at least a second shooter. In the 1970s, a new acoustic technique was used to further dissect the audio from the famous video, and it was discovered that this many points in the audio matched the echoes of sound from a gunshot. How many points in the video echoed the same echoes of sound that came from a gunshot? More than 3, I can tell you that. There were only 3 shots, but the sound of shots happened more in the video than just 3. Ooh, either race is a good guesser, or he knows what the hell he's talking about. 6. There are 6 different points in the video where it sounds like shots were fired. There was supposedly a second angle of video from that day that shows this infamous spot and a puff of smoke coming from it, but that video has gone missing. The only people who ever have had the video in their possession is the woman who filmed it and the CIA. The woman that filmed it didn't lose it. I can guarantee that. What infamous spot had a puff of smoke coming from it? Everybody knows this one. He told you. The grassy knoll. You even know how to spell knoll. This is the only reason anyone knows how to spell the word knoll. I'm telling you right now. Lyndon B. Johnson killed him, the mob killed him, Russia killed him. All of those are okay, but the most interesting theory is the CIA killed him. They used a man holding this, fully visible in the video, to signal the shooter that sunny day. He was even seen lifting the item about a foot in the video as the car passes him, which may have been the signal. What's the man holding in the? What about the Chuck Noll? What about Chuck Noll? No. Nobody knows how to spell Noll because of Chuck Noll. Everybody knows how to spell Noll because of Grassy Knoll. Jake! Yeah, I think Race knows a little about JFK. No, it was an umbrella. It was a sunny Texas day, and there was just a man with a black umbrella just standing there. like a doofus. And as the car passes him, he goes like this. He raises it up. See it right on the video. DB Cooper, the one person that didn't maybe not die. Maybe. On November 24, 1971, a man going by this name bought a $20 airplane ticket in cash from Portland to Seattle. His name was not D.B. Cooper. In fact, nobody knows where the where the name D.B. Cooper even came from. Of course, his name wasn't this either. Probably it was probably made up. A parasol wouldn't have stood out. Yeah, right. Well, saying. And him doing this, like he could have been, saluting or like tipping his cap to him as he went by. Who knows? Because I've seen people do that, just like bow and raise, you know, gesture with an umbrella. I think there's something. Does anyone know DB Cooper's real name or name he used by the ticket? Anybody at all? I think we lost RH. Seen RH answer one in a while. His name is Dan Cooper, or the name he used was Dan Cooper. Nobody knows where DB came from. He was described as a man in his mid-40s wearing a black business suit, an overcoat, dress shoes, white shirt, and black tie. He had with him this and a brown paper bag. He had the brown paper bag and this when he jumped too. But that comes later. There's a Marvel reference here too, by the way. Beat race to it. Yes, he had a briefcase. At about 3 p.m., after the plane was in the air, Dan handed a flight attendant this that she then just put in her pocket. Dan then reportedly stood up and said, "You better take a look at that. I have a bomb." And then the whole place erupted because you say I have a bomb in a plane, people freak out. I don't care what year it is. He was trying to be all sly about it, and he was like, "Well, wait. What did he hand the flight attendant? I haven't heard from Jake since Grassy Knoll. Jake's lost. Anybody? Yeah, a note. He gave her a note, and then she just put it in her pocket. And he was like, "God damn it! God damn it! I gotta get up and say I have a bomb." He then told the flight attendant to sit next to him. He opened the briefcase to show 4 red sticks and an array of wires. He He then told her to write down that he wanted this much money by 5 p.m. in a knapsack with 2 front parachutes and 2 back parachutes, and he wanted a fuel truck waiting for when they land. No funny stuff, or I'll do the job. How much money did he want? Remember, it's the 70s. I go crazy. What I want to know is why he wanted 4 damn parachutes. You need 4 parachutes to jump out of a plane. What's the matter with you? You're Loki, you don't need any. All you need is the Bifrost. $100,000. That's a round number. $500,000. $500,000. That's what he asked for. And he got it, too. Give it to him. As the plane cruised under 10,000 feet as requested, heading to Mexico City, Cooper put on a pair of these famously in the sketch of him. In between Reno and Las Vegas, jumped out of the plane with 2 parachutes and the money. What did he put on before he jumped? Yeah. $500,000. It wasn't Grady. What did he put on before he jumped out of the plane? There we go. How about now? Oh, sound. Yeah, he he jumped midair, pitch black night. One one of his parachutes was sewn shut, and he still had this on, which just flapped in the wind. Good. Glad you can hear me again. What did he still have on that made no sense jumping in? Remember back when I listed all the things that he was wearing? Yeah, he didn't. He also didn't know anything about chutes because he didn't know that one was sewn shut. Also, he lost $6,000 in air. Yeah. Hey, so had his overcoat on, flapping in. he, he was he was an idiot. But we all know what happened. He got caught by the Bifrost and went back to Asgard. Princess Di. There we go. Late 80s, Princess Diana started having relations with a captain in the Queen's Cavalry, and then this year, Diana and Prince Charles were officially divorced. What year did they divorce? In the late 80s, she started cheating on him. But of course, we all know that he's cheated on her. That comes later too. I'm not saying her name because she's a home record though. Home record. Home record. 86, 87, 96 was the official divorce. They were separated in the 80s. Yes, the the official divorce wasn't until 96. Died a year later, even though she was fully moved out of the Buckingham Palace by the years that you guys said. On August 31st, 1997, Diana, Dodi Al Fayed, her lover, and their bodyguards were all in the car chase from these people driving 70 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. When they crashed, only the driver, a bodyguard, had on a seatbelt. And there's a reason for that. Because of who they were trying to get away from. Yes. Paparazzi. Yeah, they had their seatbelts off because they were like this. In the car. They were ducked down so. No, not the lizard people. Paparazzi. One theory was that the bodyguard driving the car was paid by security forces to purposely crash the car. One piece of evidence that supports this theory is that even though he was paid £35,000 a year, he was found with this much money on him. My six. No. They were running for the paparazzi because when they crashed, all the paparazzi stood around and took pictures instead of trying to help somebody. That's MI6 wouldn't want her dead. Buckingham Palace would want her dead. I don't think Buckingham Palace has anything to do with MI6. $250,000? Yep, you're right. $250,000. £250,000 on him. Sensationalism. Yeah. But he was also 3 times over the legal amount of alcohol in the body, too. That could have done it, too. The next theory is that the English Parliament killed Diana because she was with Dodi, an Egyptian Muslim, and was secretly in this condition. Dodi's father has also come out to say that the state would not have ever let Dodi be the stepfather of the future King of England, William. Yeah. Yeah, they're not too keen on letting people of people like that in, you know. Let's just look at Harry. Harry married someone of a color. How's that going? Pregnant, even though official records indicate that she was not in her autopsy. Oh no, wasn't pregnant. That's weird. The last theory is that Diana incredibly predicted a car accident for her death. 10 months before her death, she gave a letter to a butler for safekeeping that read, "Redacted is planning an accident in my car. Brake failure and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for Charles to marry." Of course, Charles went on to marry this person, the home wrecker, in 2005. So she wrote who was planning on killing her too, but they redacted it. Now nobody knows what she wrote down. Who did Charles go on to marry? Who is now the princess of whatever the hell it is, Wales or whatever? Yeah, and she's so fucking homely looking. Like he had Diana, and now Camilla's just damn it. In 1986, 5 years after his marriage to Diana, Charles rekindled. I just remembered what this says. Rekindled a previous relationship with Camilla in a recorded phone call in 1989. He could be heard telling Camilla he wanted to live in this place. Never gonna get this. And you're gonna vomit when you hear the answer. Prince Charles wanted to live with Camilla, or told Camilla he wanted to live in this place. Oh, can't wait. Just think of the grossest thing you can think of. Inside Shutter. Basically, he wanted to live in her knickers, which I believe is her underwear. I don't know what the knickers are, but that's what I imagine. That's just those thighs. Yeah, again, Princess Diana, like attractive. Camilla, uh, uh saying she would live in her knickers. Ooh. June 13, 1994, the bodies of Nicole Brown Simpson and this man were found stabbed to death outside Nicole's townhouse. Who is the dude? Who was the dude that was with Nicole Brown Simpson? All I can ever remember is Kato Kalin. Because I heard Kato Kalin on the news for like what seems to be 3 years every night. Kato Kalin. Kato Kalin. Was wasn't even a big part of it. Like I don't know why I remember his name so bad. Kato Kalin. He got rich though. I know, but still. He didn't do shit. Just living in a guest house. He didn't know. He didn't do anything. Went to McDonald's with him and went back home. That's all he did that night. Remember the guy's name? You're gonna know it when I say it. Yeah, you're gonna know it when I say it. Ronald L. Goldman. Ronald Goldman. You never heard? I barely heard that name. I heard Kato Kalin all the time. This is the only reason anyone found the bodies in the early morning hours. Why did they find the bodies so soon after a murder? I believe neighbors found them. I say. Anybody know? Anybody? No. No, Nicole's dog was barking. It's full head off. No, Nicole's dog was barking outside. Led him right to the dead bodies. I mean, that works. Might have stumbled onto it. One reason all blood evidence against OJ was tainted is because the defense showed that the lead LAPD officer on the case was racist. Huh, weird. Using more than 40 slurs during OJ's questioning and finding this famous piece of evidence only after he jumped over the wall of OJ's estate before anyone else arrived, suggesting it was planted. What'd he find? LAPD? Racist? In the 90s? Really? No way. No way. Yep, he found the glove. If the glove don't fit, let's get the hell out of here. Get the hell out. One theory is that Jason, OJ's son, committed the murders. He had multiple assault charges, one with a boss and two with former girlfriends, and at least two of them involved this weapon. Must quit, yes. Love don't fit, you must quit. You must get out of here. Mm-hmm. What is a knife? Same thing that was used to kill Nicole Arnold. Jason's alibi that night of the murder was that he was working in this type of place that night. This is said to be a flimsy alibi, however, because the time card he was using was handwritten, which means he could have filled it out at any time. It was also found out that the time clock had nothing wrong with it that night and could have been used. Where was he working? What type of establishment? Race, get it. Race, get it. Oh, Jake beat you to it. Yep, it was a restaurant. He was working in a restaurant. To collect evidence, Bill Deere, the PI that started the Jason Simpson train, stole medical records from a hospital Jason was in using this technique. Those medical records show that Jason had rage issues and quit taking his meds. What did he do to get those medical records? To steal those medical records. What did he do? He did it for 2 weeks. Yeah, who was he impersonating though? Or what was he impersonating? I mean, you're right. I guess I can give it to you. Yeah, he was impersonating a doctor. He impersonated a doctor for 2 weeks. Yeah, no, a doctor. You were right though. Yeah, for 2 whole weeks he impersonated a doctor. All right, you ready, Jake? Here we go. You gotta get all these. You gotta get all these, Jake. You should know all of them. On December 26, 1996, Patsy Ramsey, John Bonet's mother, claimed to have found this on the back staircase of the house. The OJ was for Brett. This one's for you. Maybe Santa will appear. Who knows? There you go. 1 for 1. Ransom note. The ransom note was kind of weird. It seemed way too detailed, calling the writers a small foreign faction and that they respect John Ramsey's business. It also asked for a specific amount of money. This specific amount of money. Maybe too specific, because it's almost the amount of money that John Ramsey, her father, received for a bonus that year. It was also written inside the house. Brett, you missed the whole thing! You missed the whole thing. No, it was not $180,000. You're you're so close and yet so far. You missed OJ, Brett. You missed OJ. You put OJ in here for you and you missed it. It was $118,000, not $180,000. Jake. Yeah, it was 118,000. You had the right numbers, not in the right way. Yeah, I knew it. I knew I'd trip you up on one of these. Because of course they were. The Ramseys were the number one suspects at the time. Most theorized that JonBenet was killed accidentally, but that doesn't really match since she died of blunt force trauma and this. Two causes of death. Blunt force trauma and perhaps the nurse that just entered the room knows. Yeah. Yeah, you're both right. Oh, Patton too. Oh man, we got all the people showing up at the end. Yes, asphyxiation. You understand how long it took me to spell asphyxiation? Good God. You can't really strangle someone on accident. Again, sex. But the first non-Ramsey subject is Bill McReynolds, a man who played Santa and was at the Ramsey's house 2 days prior. He felt extremely close to JonBenet because, among other reasons, she had gifted him a vial of this. He was so touched that a child gave him a present as Santa that he took the vial in with him during his heart surgery and told his wife to mix it in with his ashes if he died. Ew. You took it too far, dude. Damn it, I can't spell. No one read what I put. Exfoliation? She died of exfoliation. No one read what I put. Well, I couldn't figure out how to fucking spell asphyxiation either. Oh God, exfoliation. That's funny. Yep, she scrubbed too far down. Died. All right, what did JonBenet give him a vial of, and then he just lost his fucking mind. Apparently, I don't remember what was in the vial. Jake, no, that's two. No, it's not that weird. It's not that weird. It's something a little girl would do. It's not that weird. Calm down. This is something a little princess runway model 8-year-old would give a old grizzly Santa Claus weird guy. Yeah, there it is. Glitter. Mix the glitter in with his ashes. Oh my God. God damn it. Bunch of weirdos. The next suspect was a neighbor that lived down the street. In an unrelated arrest, he was arrested for child pornography and selling drugs and was found with this item on him. The item was of JonBenet. His own brother said in an interview that he remembers the suspect calling him after the murder saying, "I heard a little girl. I heard a little girl." What did he have an item of that had JonBenet? That was of JonBenet. I believe he was arrested, by the way, in like 2005 for child pornography and selling drugs. So 10 years after the murder, more or less. Nope. Jake, do you know this one? was a picture. He had a picture of John Bonet on him, like in his wallet or something. Like just carrying around like it's no big deal. This column right here, this is what's gonna keep me up at night if any of them do. Right there. These people are fucking crazy. The last suspect is John Mark Carr and wasn't discovered until 10 years after the murder. He was discovered by a journalist that was emailing him off and on for over 4 years. He used many of the same grammatical cues found in the Ramsey note and once referred to Patsy Ramsey as this, her family nickname. However, the police eventually found that Carr was in Georgia at the time of the murder. Gross. Yeah. What was Patsy Ramsey's family nickname? Jake. I've stumped you on so many of these. Told you they were gonna be hard. I knew you knew about this case, so I knew I would have to make them hard. Nope, not Pat's. Anyone else know? Anybody else know? We might have to replay this one when Brett and Rach are on, because I feel like they know a lot of this. Race knew a lot of it. Race won tonight, by the way. He didn't win anything, but he won. What is Nettie? Nettie is her family nickname, apparently. Jake, do you know that now that I said it? Sound familiar? And that's not recounting all of the serial killers that were on death row and said, I killed Don Benet Ramsey. No, you didn't. Shut up. Does that happen too? It's because you have a baby, and babies do that to you. I know. That's why I said we'll just redo it one day. When you and Rach are on, because you and Rach are going to blow this out of the water. I do remember that now. Oh, Jake. Oh, buddy. There it is. Princess Die. Which one was it? I'll do it for Brett. Where is it? Oh, that ain't it. This one. This is for Brett. Jason's alibi that night. Jason Simpson, of course. Alibi that night of the murder was that he was working in this type of place that night. This is said to be a flimsy alibi, however, because the time card he was using was handwritten, which means he could have filled it out at any time. It was also found that the time clock had nothing wrong with it that night and could have been used. Oh, I know. I know, Race. You get bored on the line and talk about all kinds of weird shit. I completely understand. Brett, where was he working? Do you know where he was working? I'm gonna take that as a no. Yeah, working in a restaurant. Did you know that? That he had a time card that was handwritten that night? There was nothing wrong with the time clock. He just handwritten it because, you know. Tardiness. Yeah, right. No, he didn't. Yeah, see? That helps the old Jason Simpson train. Alrighty. Getting out of here. See you guys later. Next week. Peace out.